Hi, I'm Josh from Apt. Here we've got the new iPhone 6s series. We've got the regular size 6s and the 6s Plus. Bigger battery, optical image stabilizer for you people loving taking photos and videos, and a whole boatload of landscape features that the 6 does not have. So the new 6s series featuring rose gold, the new color that everyone's talking about, as well as standard gold, silver, they all have the white front except the space gray. The space gray is the model that has the dark gray back and you have the black frame. So if you're looking for the black iPhone 6s, you want the space gray version. Otherwise, you get a whole bunch of design differences here. The glass, strongest glass Apple's ever had on their iPhone series. The aluminum, Series 7000 aluminum. This is aerospace technology going up in space. It's on your phone. Super durable phones. Outside of that, you've got some big updates to the camera. We love using our phones for our cameras. And you got an updated 12 megapixel digital camera. On the front, you're going to have the ability to do selfies where there's a flash now. The flash itself is the screen. It's just the Retina HD screen blinks really bright. It's actually brighter than your standard flash on the back iSight camera, which, by the way, this can now record 4K. If you were to go into settings, there's a section for photos and camera. You could turn on 4K video recording if you want super high resolution video. On top of all that durability, and you've got the new camera technology, the insides are what's most important with the newest series of iPhone 6s. And this is the boring stuff for some people, but for me, this is the most important. You've got the new A9 processor, and it's a huge difference. You've got a difference of 70% in processing power versus the previous iPhone 6. That's a big deal. 70% more powerful processor. But then what's even crazier is 90% more graphics power. So you're going to see a wave of new games and new apps that are really going to be optimized for the 6s series. And then you're also going to have the new iOS 9 operating system running just flawless on this high-powered smartphone. So that's a big deal. Besides, you've got better connectivity for the LTE, a faster home button for that fingerprint scanner that when you press your finger against it, it logs in. It's going to just be a little bit quicker for you. And then you've got a boatload of options as far as the new 3D touch on the screen, how you could press down and press down further. You feel a little buzz every time you do it, that haptic response. So that's pretty cool. Let's get into some of these new software features that the iPhone 6s series are absolutely optimized for. Alright, so the haptic engine inside the 6s series is something that's going to be an exclusive versus all you guys that have a 6, a 5S, or whatever, that you did the upgrade to iOS 9 and you're not seeing some of these features. It's because you don't have the haptic feedback inside like an iPhone 6s series does. What does that mean? So when I touch the glass on a 6s, and here's an example, there's the ability on your apps on the front screen. If I were to touch and hold down for a second, I physically felt my phone kind of give me a little zap, I guess you can say. And that's a haptic response because of what's inside. And it gives me this feature where it shows me some quick features for that app of what I can do. So I have that ability on the 6s series that I don't have that ability on other generation phones that are older than the 6s. Outside of that, this is all called 3D touch, by the way, the ability to press down and feel that haptic response. I just pressed down one level, and here's what I got. But there's also peek and pop. Couple other features. So let's say, for example, let's go to our photos. Here we are in our photos. Now, I could be in my email. I could be on a different program where I just want to see a piece of what's there. So I tap and hold down. I felt that little buzz. And as you see, if I let go, it goes away. And that's the peak. All right. If I want to pop into it, I press further. So I gave a little extra push, and I felt another little buzz. And that's because I've popped into that picture. Or if I was in a different program, it could have popped into that other function that you peeked at. So a couple other new technologies in that 3D touch feature. Another big update to the iPhone 6s series is the ability to shoot live photos. So it's a new way to take a picture from Apple. And it's not just shooting a video with a freeze frame, which is always kind of a low resolution quality. This is about taking a full resolution image. But since we've tapped on that little bullet icon at the top of our menu for taking a picture, we've turned the live feature on, and I could turn that feature off if I don't want to do this. Obviously, it's going to take up more space. But what it does is it captures about a second and a half before and a second and a half after of the audio and video from that moment. So some of the examples that are pretty cool are like if you've got like a water fountain, for example, it's a big waterfall, and you take a high resolution 12 megapixel camera picture with your 6S, but you've selected live photo, that's going to actually capture a little bit before and after. So when I'm in my library of all my photos, you're just going to tap and hold down, and that ability for 3D touch is going to activate that moment until you let go, and it goes back to the high resolution picture. And that's what it really is. It's a high resolution picture with that ability to just give it a little bit of life. So it's a pretty cool feature from Apple, and it doesn't maintain itself. For example, if I were to say, let's take this live photo and send it to my notes. Notes can now take pictures, which is great. Or if you're like on a website, you're on app.com and you want to add it to your notes, you can just tap that little square with the arrow pointing up, choose notes, it throws the website into your note. Or it throws my picture into my note. In this case, though, with the live photo won't be active in my note. So keep in mind that it is really designed for me to come into my Photos camera roll or my shared photo streams that I'm working on, iCloud's photo library, and interact with that live photo. A great new feature in the iPhone 6s series. So that's the new iPhone 6s series. And a lot of the features that are exclusive in iOS 9 to the 6s series. There are a whole bunch of other iOS 9 features that all iPhone users are going to really appreciate. So you'll see a lot of these differences all across the board, but some of those 3D touch features and live photos, it's pretty exclusive to the 6s series. Let's hear some of your thoughts. If we were to give you a free iPhone 6s, what color would you want? Let's hear your comments. Otherwise, while you're there, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe to our YouTube channel.